My graphing information comes from IEA.org. Okay, so today we are going to be learning about the history of transportation and the environmental effects of transportation technology. So, what is transportation technology? Transportation technology is improvements in methods that move people, animals, and cargo all the way around the globe. Um, the early beginnings of transportation. The earliest forms of transportation were called dugouts. They were boats that were made out of logs with big cutouts down the middle. Um, these dugouts they were used for fishing and traveling. The earliest people to use it was as late as 60,000 years ago and as early as 40,000 years ago. And the main people who used it were Native Americans and the people who colonized Australia. Um, Impact on the environment. Dugouts did not really have an impact on the environment because there was not a heavy need for them, so um, there wasn't much of that. But today, people are very limited to if they can use dugouts because of global warming and deforestation. The Industrial Revolution brought a very big boom in transportation due to the invention of the steam engine train. The first one was called the rocket. It went at 16 miles per hour. And the steamboat. These products were revolutionary for this time because there wasn't any other form of transportation other than a horse and a buggy. This took traveling from days to a few hours. Um, Impact on the environment. The Industrial Revolution was the start of when things would start to have impact on the environment. In this time, there was steam and other things that were releasing CO2 and other toxins into the air. Um, it wasn't as harmful to the earth then as it is now. Next is the assembly line. The assembly line was introduced by Henry Ford in 1913. Um, the assembly line was also revolutionary for this time because cars were extremely hard to make and very hard to come by. But this took cars from around a price of $630 to about $210. Impact on the environment. Many new advancements were made during this time using new machinery and things like that. And then cars were starting to use gasoline for power, which now have CO2 emissions. Today's cars are either very affordable or they are very luxurious. Many cars today are going electric, hybrid, which means that they run on gas and electric, or they're still mainly gas. By the year of 2035, all GM brands want to be all electric. Impact on the environment. Cars today give off emissions that are harming the earth more and more each day, and most cars run off gas, which give off many CO2 emissions, which harm the earth, and it is harmful to the ozone, which protects us. The future of transportation. It's hard to know what will be in the future, but we can't really tell other than there will probably be electric cars. But you never know, there might be flying cars. The most recent futuristic form of transportation was the Hyperloop. It was introduced in 2012 by Elon Musk, and it went at 700 miles per hour. Most vehicles will probably be environmentally friendly and will have a better effect on the environment. Impact on the environment. Most car brands will probably be more environmentally friendly. There will probably not be many gas vehicles left in that time, and electric car stations will probably be around a lot more than gas stations will be. So this graph represents what the government wants to have done with CO2 emissions by the year of 2030 and its progress up until then. The blue represents advanced development, which you see there is not much of that. The green represents early development, which there will be a lot of early development with this. And the yellow represents the net zero emissions. So there's not a lot of net zero emissions for this time until you get to about 2030, and that's when the government wants to have a lot of net zero emissions. And then the second graph are the two machines that capture CO2. The blue represents low temperature, high temperature, represents high temperature, and 5.3 gigajoules will cap per ton at this temperature is how many gigajoules there will be. The green represents electricity. It will only take 0.8 gigajoules of electricity per ton of CO2. And the CO2 compress will only have 0.5 gigajoules per ton. And then the second one, this is low temperature, and there will be 7.2 gigajoules per ton at that temperature. And then with electricity, there will be 2.3 gigajoules per ton, and then it is still the same 0.5 for the compress only. So with these, the air would be more cleaner, and there would not be as many toxins in the air to make people sick who have allergies or if the ozone affects them. Thank you for your time for watching this video.